variant pronunciations, like people also pronounce this as D when the next word begins with a vowel sound. So this is pronounced as the or the. And the indefinite article is a. This also has like different pronunciations. Sometimes people also pronounce it as a in different dialects or individual people's pronunciations. Like this can be pronounced as a or a. A is the most common pronunciation of this term. And there is also another variant of this. When the next word, the word after the article begins with a vowel sound, a becomes an. Pronunciation is different and the spellings are also different. So this is what we call the articles in English, the, and. The is the definite article. A is the indefinite article. And this concept called definiteness. So that is what is represented by these articles. Definite and indefinite, or like specific and non-specific. So this is available in most languages. So this is a concept that is represented in different languages in different ways. Therefore, it is also important for us to know how this idea is represented in our languages, because for most of us, English is a second language. And how we recognize these things in the different languages we use is the same across languages with only a few minor differences. Now, for example, the indefinite article, we say something like a man. So a is the indefinite article here. So how do we say this in our languages, in Sinhala and Tamil? How do we say this in Tamil? How do you say a man in Tamil?
Manidan.
Oru Manidan.
Oru Manidan. So then, what is the word in Tamil for the indefinite article a?
Oru.
Yes. So that is the Tamil word. So in Tamil, the indefinite article is represented using the word oru. So does it mean something like one?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is what this indefinite article says, like, so a man is in a way similar to like one man. Which means that you also have to understand that indefinite article cannot be used with plural nouns. it is only used with singular nouns because or oru in Tamil means one. Somebody asked a question when we pronounce the is two type, like perhaps this is what we told, we already discussed first. The is the definite article. It is used at the beginning of noun groups. The is usually pronounced the before a consonant.
The.
Of course, you can also see here that the way this consonant is pronounced by Western people is also different. Like for us, it's a stop sound. For Western people, it is a fricative sound. It's a like sir, like the that they have. Like it's for them, it's a interdental fricative. Like they place their tongue before two rows of teeth when they pronounce that word, like sir. That's how they say it. Whereas we stopped our air stream altogether.
the,
But it's a little uh, kind of difficult for us to pronounce that consonant that way because now in our languages, it's a stop sound, not the we totally stop the R stream when we pronounce this. That's not a problem like in Sri Lanka. The is usually pronounced the before a consonant and
the,
before a vowel, but pronounce
the,
when you are emphasizing it in a kind of slow pronunciation. So like this can be the, or G, like so that way. Long, short E or long E or a sound. The, or G.
the, the, the.
So that way there can be three pronunciations like the before a vowel sound. So G before a vowel, but when you want to emphasize it, it can be a long E sound too. Okay. So then the Tamil term for is oru. So that is what is represented by the indefinite article in Tamil. So then how do we say this in Sinhala? A man.
Ek. පුද්ගලයෙක්.
පුජ්‍යලයෙක්. මිනිසෙක්. මනුස්සයෙක් කියන එක නේද? So Hannah asked a question, how can we identify that it's an indefinite or definite noun? Yeah, that's a little complicated thing. We'll be coming to that later. So like in Tamil, there's a separate word for that is oru. So in Sinhala, do we use a separate word for yes or no?
No, sir.
Yeah, in Sinhala, we do not use a separate word for the indefinite article. We only use a suffix. Suffix means some letters put at the end of a word. We only use a suffix. සිංහල කියන එකට ප්‍රත්‍යක් වෙනම වචනයක් පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ ප්‍රත්‍යක් තමක් පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. A suffix. We only use a suffix. And this suffix takes different forms actually, like for a male noun, the suffix is like ek, minisek, වෛද්‍යවරයෙක්, ගෝවියෙක්, ශිෂ්‍යයෙක්, so that way. And for female nouns, so it is like ak, කාන්තාවක්, හෙදියක්, ගුරුවරියක්, and the like. So this is for the subjective forms. So like when these nouns are in the object, it is represented in different ways, like arker and the like, kanta, worker, guruvari, yaka, and the like. For male nouns, when they are in the object, it becomes something like aku, like minisaku. දේශපාලඥයෙකු. So, and the visa. So this way, this is what is represented using the indefinite article o, and in English. So these suffixes like ek, ak, and the like that we use in single. And then the definite article is for example, something like the man. How do you say this in Sinhala and Tamil? How do you say this in Tamil? The man? Something like, I know the man, and the like. How do you say the man in Tamil? A man is Oru Manidan. How do you say the man in Tamil? Something like the man who is in a blue shirt is a friend of mine. Something like that. How do you say the man in Tamil?
So for the, it's like there's no particular word in Tamil, I think.
So how do you say the man in Tamil? Anna.
Yeah, so the same way where we say like a man. So
No, tell it to me in Tamil. How do you say the man in Tamil?
it depends on the, yeah, that man, like that. It depends on the sentence.
Now, for example, so in a simple sentence like this, I know the man. So how do you say this in Tamil?
எனக்கு அந்த மனிதரை தெரியும்.
Enaka?
அந்த மனிதரை தெரியும்.
Uh-huh. Yes, so like uh-huh. So I have to accept what you say. So you say under here. Yeah, so in Tamil you use the equivalent of that. Uh, to represent the something like that. Mhm. What about in Sinhala? In Sinhala, how do you say the man?
Manusya.
Yes. Like in Sinhala, like we don't use anything for the. So we call it zero. In Sinhala, it is like zero. Zero suffix. So like it is used with the noun only. No suffix, no other word and the like. But as you say, and just like how this Google translator analog says, you of course use it with the equivalent of that, and or maybe some other form. So in single it is zero. We don't use any word at all. No word, no suffix for the definite article. We call it zero. Okay. So this is how these two articles, like the definite article and the indefinite article, is represented in our languages. In Tamil, for the indefinite article, Tamil people use oru. For the definite article, Tamil people do use some word like and the like. In Sinhala, for the indefinite article, we only use a suffix. So this suffix can be in a lot of different forms, like 4 different forms: ek, ak, aku, and aka, and the like. For the definite article in Sinhala, we don't use anything. So that is zero. Okay. And one thing that you should know in the very beginning, so like article use is one of the trickiest things in English. So like it is as tricky as learning the tense system in English. So tense system in English is a little complicated. So like whereas in our languages we have the past tense, present tense, and the future tense simply. So in English, so like all these tenses are divided into 4 each. So that way there are like 12 active voice tenses and 8 passive voice tenses, and their uses are also a little complicated. So it takes a lot of time for second language learners to actually master the tense system, because there are differences across varieties. Like in American English, it is one way. In British English, it in another way. In our languages, it is represented in a totally different way. So in the same way, this article use is also like that. So we can, what we are going to talk here is about some basic rules only. As much as there can be rules, there are also exceptions. These are not like just rules in like other subjects. Some of the uses of the articles have to be learned through experience only. And these experiences can also vary across varieties. How a native speaker would recognize this definiteness and indefiniteness, and how we would recognize it. So there is something said by native speakers, like British people especially. regarding the migrants from Asian countries. So like our way of using articles is sometimes a little different from how British people would use it. Therefore, so like whereas you can have kind of more experience regarding the article use when you use them more only, like when you write more, when you read more, and the like. But the basic rules have to be learned by everyone. So that is what we are going to learn in this lesson. And the first thing that you should know about these articles, as we said in the beginning, articles are used with nouns. They are used as the first word when an article is used. That article is used as the first word in the noun phrase. And the use is, the use of the article is linked to the main noun in the noun phrase. Although some other words can come in between, as we saw in the first example. So like some adjectives can come in between, but we use the article in relation to the noun, just like we use these prepositions. And this article use is linked to different type of nouns. So that is what is given first here. Some nouns can be counted, and they are called countable nouns. Some nouns are countable nouns. They are also called count nouns. And some other nouns cannot be counted, and they are called uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns are also called mass nouns. And the first rule given here is like we use on only before countable nouns. On. That means the indefinite article. That is one thing, one rule that you should remember. The indefinite article, on, is used only before countable nouns. We do not use on before a mass noun, uncountable noun. For example, we can say we use flour to make pancakes. We use flour to make pancake. Flour is a noun. It is an uncountable noun. Therefore, we cannot use the indefinite article here. We cannot, we don't say we use a flour to make pancakes. And this use is similar in our languages as well. සිංහලනුත් එහෙම තමයි. We use flour to make pancakes. අපි pancake හදන්න පිටි ගන්නවා. පිටි පාවිච්චි කරනවා. අපිට අර ප්‍රත්‍යක් දාන්නේ නැහැ ඒකට. අපි පිටියක් කියලා වගේ එහෙම කියන්න බෑ. Similarly, mom added salt to the fish curry. Salt is an uncountable noun. Therefore, you don't say a salt. සිංහලනුත් එහෙම තමයි. අම්මා මාළු ව්‍යාංජනයට ලුණු දැම්ම. ලුණුවක් වගේ කියලා එහෙම කියන්නේ නැහැ. I think in Tamil also you don't use oru for flour or salt. There is water on the table. No, not a water. Okay, so that is the first rule. The indefinite article is not used with uncountable nouns. It is used only with countable nouns. However, when you want to count an uncountable noun, you can couple it with another countable noun or a kind of unit that is countable. So then, in the beginning, you can use a countable noun and then, of course, preposition of and the uncountable noun. For example, you can say, I used a cup of flour to make pancakes. පිට පිටියක් කියලා කියන්න බැරි වුණාට පිටි කෝප්පයක් කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. Cup කියන එක පාවිච්චි කරොත්. Because cup is a countable noun. With that, you can use the indefinite article. I used a cup of flour to make pancake. මම pancake හදන්න පිටි කෝප්පයක් පාවිච්චි කරා. පිටියක් කියන්න බැරි වුණාට පිටි කෝප්පයක් කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. Similarly, mom added a teaspoon of salt to the fish curry. Because teaspoon is countable, you can use a with that. There is a jug of water on the table. So this way, because we do not use the indefinite article with uncountable nouns, when you want to count them, you can couple it with a countable noun, a countable unit. So that is the first thing given here. And then regarding the definite article, we use the definite article with uncountable nouns when it is clear to the listener or reader which things we are referring to. So this one is a little complicated thing because this is a little hard to explain, give a clear rule. It is through experience that we, through our knowledge of the world, that we have to understand this. It's regarding the shared experience between the speaker and the listener, or the writer and the reader. So we use the definite article the with uncountable nouns when it is clear to the listener or reader which things we are referring to. That means when the entity is definite, specific. We do not use the with uncountable nouns when we are talking in general. For example, now in a sentence like, plant need water to grow. The noun water is an uncountable noun. We use water here in a general sense. Regarding water in general, water as a compound, water as a liquid, H2O. Plants need water to grow. ශාක පැලැටි වර්ධනයට ජලය අවශ්‍යයි. ඒක පොදුවේ ජලය like ඕනෑ තැනක තියෙන water in general, water available like anywhere. What we chemically call this H2O, the liquid, the colorless liquid, in a general sense. But in the first sentence here, we say the water in this jug tastes funny. Now, in the first sentence, the writer is not talking about water in general, water anywhere. The writer is talking about a specific entity of water. The writer limits the scope of that noun. That is why we also call them determiners. So we can also see it when we look at this prepositional phrase. Using this phrase, the writer makes it specific. The writer is not talking about all the water in the world, water available anywhere. The writer is only talking about the water in this jug. So that is how we have to understand that this is definite. This is specific. By looking at the meaning the writer wants to convey here. The water in this jug. මේ ජෝග්වේ තියෙන වතුර. ඉස්සලා කිව්වේ පැලෑටි වලට වර්ධනයට වතුර අවශ්‍යයි. ජලය අවශ්‍යයි. විශේෂයෙන් මොන ජලයද කියලා එහෙම එකක් නැහැ. නමුත් මේ වාක්‍යෙදි කියන්නේ the water in this jug මේ ජෝග්වේ තියෙන වතුර අමුතුරයි. Tastes funny. The writer is talking about a specific entity, a definite entity. That is why we use the definite article here. When the listener and the reader, when the listener or the reader is clear about which things we are referring to. Okay, but then this actually we have to learn through experience. We have been using this. So then we'll see how we can use this in activities. For example, there's a small activity here. There's a dialogue between two people called Sue and Anita. You are asked to complete this conversation, and there are 4 answer options. You are asked to use and the or no article. If an article is not needed, you can put a dash. For example, first Sue says, "Oh, I've scalded my hand." Scalded means burnt. Do you have blank honey? This way, read through the conversation and fill in the blanks using either the indefinite article on or the definite article the, or if no article is needed, you can put a dash. Read through the dialogue and fill in the blanks. Okay, we look at your answers. First, Sue says, I've scalded my hand. Do you have blank honey? So what is your answer for the first blank?
Dash.
Yes. Because honey is an uncountable noun, you don't need an article here. No article. Do you have honey? Because honey is an uncountable noun. Then Anita says, yes, there's blank tub of blank honey. Blank number 2.
A tub of
Yes, a tub. Because tub is a countable noun. A tub of
dash.
dash. No article is needed here. There's a tub of honey in,
The
The
fridge.
fridge.
yes,
The
in
fridge.
the fridge. Fridge. The refrigerator is a countable noun. Regarding countable nouns, so there's another rule in English, like singular countable nouns. Should not be used without an article. You cannot use a singular countable noun without an article. You have to either use the definite article or you have to use the indefinite article when you use a singular countable noun. Fridge is a countable noun. And usually at home there is one fridge. Therefore, it is specific, definite. You know which fridge you are talking about. Therefore, we use it with the definite article. And also this kind of use is also called, you can also consider it a kind of generic use to represent in the entire group. Like fridge means like the place where items so with that meaning, the place where cooling items are kept. Therefore, we use the definite article here. Yes, there's a tub of honey in the fridge. Fridge එකේ මී පැණි කුප්පියක් තියෙනවා. Fridge එකේ මී පැණි කුප්පියක් තියෙනවා. So like when we use the word noun fridge, so like both Sue and Anita, like everybody knows about it. There is usually like one fridge at home. Of course, In some homes, there can be more than one fridge, but it is the common understanding that what is meant by the fridge is the place where cooling items are kept. Therefore, we usually use it with the definite article. So we don't say a fridge, because you are talking about the particular fridge in that house. දැන් සිංහලෙන් කියනකොට ශීත කරණයක තබන්න කියලා කියන. එතකොට definite නැහැ. ශීත කරණයේ කියලා කිව්වොත් ඒ කියන්නේ එක definite fridge එකේ. Maybe the fridge available in Anita's house. Then Sue says, where's blank honey? I don't see it anywhere.
Dash.
The honey.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so is it like indefinite or definite now?
Definite.
Yes,
The honey, sir.
yes. Now in the beginning, Sue said, I scalded my hand. Do you have honey? Me පැණි තියනවද? කියලා. Like honey in general. Now here, in the third sentence, when Sue says, where's blank honey? Sue is not actually talking about honey in general, in a general sense. What is meant by honey here is actually the tub of honey. Therefore, specific, both Sue and Anita knows Sue is talking about what Anita already said. Anita කිව්වනේ මේ පැණි කුප්පියක් තියෙනවා කියලා. ඒ ගැන තමයි මේ Sue අහන්නේ. Sue is asking about that. Sue is asking about what Anita already said. Therefore, both Sue and Anita knows what Sue is talking about. It's a specific entity. Therefore, now you have to say the honey. Where's the honey? මෙතන කියන්නේ සිංහලෙන් කියනවා නම් මී පැණි එක කෝ කියලා අහන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ කුප්පිය ගැන තමයි. මී පැණි කුප්පිය ගැන මේ කියන්නේ. A tub of honey. Where's the honey? I don't see it anywhere. Then Anita says, it's on blank second shelf.
The.
The.
Yes.
The.
So with these ordinals like first, second, third, and all, you have to use the definite article. The first, the second, the third, that way. Is on the second shelf in blank orange tub.
The.
An
Orange.
And.
Mhm.
An orange. The.
Yeah. Here actually, I think both are acceptable. You can either say an orange tub or the orange tub. It's on the second shelf in an orange tub. If there is only one orange tub in the second shelf of Anita's fridge, you can even use the here. It's on the second shelf in an orange tub. දෙවෙනි තට්ටුවේ ෆ්‍රිජ් එකේ දෙවෙනි තට්ටුවේ තැඹිලි පාට කුප්පියක in an orange tub. අපි සිංහලෙන් කියනකොට මේක කියන්නේ තැඹිලි පාට කුප්පිය කියලාද නැත්නම් තැඹිලි පාට කුප්පියක කියලාද? දෙවෙනි තට්ටුවේ තැඹිලි පාට කුප්පිය තියනවාද කියලාද කියන්නේ නැත්නම් දෙවෙනි තට්ටුවේ තැඹිලි පාට කුප්පියක තියනවා කියලාද කියන්නේ?
දෙවැනි තට්ටුවේ තැඹිලි පාට කුප්පියක තියෙන කියලා.
දෙවෙනි තට්ටුවේ තැඹිලි පාට කුප්පිය තියනවා කියලා කියන්නත් පුළුවන්ද?
පුළුවන්.
එම කියන්නත් පුළුවන්. එකයි නම් තියෙන්නේ තැඹිලි පාට tubs, orange tub. If there's only one orange tub, we would also say it that way. Therefore, sometimes there's more than one option possible, like depending on the situation. It's on the second shelf in an orange tub, or it's on the second shelf in the orange tub. Like if Anita, because this is Anita's fridge, if Anita is totally clear about, totally sure that there is one orange tub there, like Anita can also say in the orange tub. තැඹිලි පාට කුප්පිය කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ එකයි නම් තියෙන්නේ. Okay. Then Sue says, now I just need a blank spoonful of blank honey. Yes. Yes. Spoonful is countable. I just need a spoonful of.
Dash.
Yes.
Dash.
Dash. I just need a spoonful of honey. මට මේ පැණි හැන්දයි ඕනේ. හැන්දක් ඕනේ. හැන්දයි. I just need a spoonful of honey. Then Anita asks, won't it be sticky? Then Sue says, yes, but it will bring relief. I always apply blank honey whenever I have a small burn. It takes the pain away. Blank number 10.
Dash.
Yes. Honey in general. As an uncountable noun. I always apply honey whenever I have a small burn. පිච්චුනහම හැම වෙලාවෙම මම මී පැණි ගන්නවා. Honey in general. Okay? Right, so these are the answers. I've scalded my hand. Do you have honey? And so yes, there's a tub of honey in the fridge. Where's the honey? I don't see it anywhere. It's on the second shelf in an orange tub or in the orange tub. Now, I just need a spoonful of honey. Won't it be sticky? Yes, but it will bring relief. I always apply honey whenever I have a small burn. It takes the pain away. Okay. So here is the second activity. Rewrite the passage and correct the mistakes. So in this passage, there are some errors in article use. So you have to rewrite this passage below with the correct use of articles. You can rewrite it in the space available here. Okay, so we will see your answers. First sentence, kaolin is type of clay. So what is the mistake here?
Is a
Yes. So type is a countable word, although clay is not countable. So you have to use there. Kaolin is a type of clay. Second one. It is also known as a china clay. What is the correct version? What is the mistake here?
As China.
Okay. China clay is uncountable. It's a type of clay. So you can't use an article there. You can't use the definite article there. It is also known as china clay. Third sentence, it is essential item in manufacture of a porcelain.
of the
An essential item.
It is an essential item. Then
manufacture of porcelain.
okay. So manufacture is also a noun. Is it nishpadane කියන එක, manufacture? Is it indefinite or definite?
Definite.
Yes, because we are not talking about manufacture in general. We are talking about a specific type of manufacture. Manufacture of porcelain. Therefore, you have used the here. And porcelain is uncountable. No article. It is an essential item in the manufacture of porcelain. එය porcelain නිෂ්පාදනයේදී අත්‍යවශ්‍ය අංගයකි. It is an essential item in the manufacture of porcelain. So don't you hear me clearly?
We can, sir.
We can hear you, sir.
Okay. Perhaps Chaturika, you have to increase the volume. Next sentence. We use a porcelain to make the cups, plates, and decorative objects such as figurines. So what is wrong here?
We use porcelain.
Yeah, so there is one mistake. Because porcelain is uncountable, it's a general use. So then you can't use a here. We use porcelain to make.
Make cups.
Yes. The is also not necessary. Because we are talking about, so this like plural nouns with plural nouns, you can use the definite article only when you are talking about a specific entity. Now, we are not talking about specific type of cups here, like cups in general. Therefore, the is not necessary here. We use porcelain to make cups, plates, and decorative objects such as figurines. Figurines means dummies like things. We use porcelain to make cups, plates, and decorative objects such as figurines. Second paragraph, the kaolin is also used when making a paper.
Making paper.
Making the paper.
So are we talking about paper in general here? Are we talking about a specific paper here?
General.
Yeah, general use, like paper as a material. So then you don't need here, paper is used as an uncountable noun here. Like just like any other material. Porcelain, kaolin, paper, uncountable. And for kaolin also, the is not needed. It is also kaolin in general. Kaolin is also used when making paper. Kaolin is also used when making paper. කඩදාසි නිෂ්පාදනයේදීද kaolin භාවිතා කරනු ලබයි. Paper in general, කඩදාසි කියන එක, like any kind of paper, maybe cardboard or whatever, brown paper, whatever. Paper made at like places like Valachene or India, any other country. Kaolin is also used when making paper. The last sentence, a paper is coated with kaolin to make it shiny and more opaque. How should we correct this?
A is not needed.
So are we talking about paper in general here in the last sentence?
The paper.
Uh-huh. Yes. Now here actually, maybe the writer is talking about the process of making paper. So then the paper in the first sentence and the paper in the second sentence are two different things. They are not the same. What the writer is talking in the last sentence is regarding the process. In the process of paper production. So then in the beginning, there's something like a pulp, and from this machine, from these rollers, then a sheet of paper comes out. That sheet of paper coming out is coated with kaolin. The word paper is used with that meaning there. Therefore, it is specific, the paper. That means the paper coming out of the roller, that particular machine. දැන් අපි පළවෙනි වාක්‍යය කියන්නේ කඩදාසි නිෂ්පාදනයේදී, paper in general. මොකක් හරි ඕනෑ වර්ගයක කඩදාසියක්. දැන් මේකෙදි කියන්නේ මේ නිෂ්පාදන ක්‍රියාවලියේදී එන ඒ sheet of paper කියන අදහසින්. කඩදාසිය. ඒ මැෂින් එකෙන් එළියට එන කඩදාසිය කියන අදහසින්. So then because it is definite, it is good to use the definite article here. The paper. The paper coming out of the roller or the machine. The paper is coated with kaolin to make it shiny and more opaque. So this way, like the same noun can be used in an uncountable sense and a countable sense both. Same word, but like two meanings. කඩදාසිය කියන එක general sense එකෙනුත් use කරන්න පුළුවන්. පොදුවේ කඩදාසි නිෂ්පාදනය කියන එක. Manufacture of paper. ඒ වගේම එක එක කඩදාසි වර්ගයට නිශ්චිත like in the second one අපිට සිංහලෙන් වුණත් ඒක කඩදාසිය කියලා වෙනම sheet වශයෙන් ගන්නකොට ඒක countable sense එකකින් පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. පොදුවේ කඩදාසි කියලා කිව්වොත් ඒක uncountable sense එකකින් පාවිච්චි කරන්න. So this way, like this countable, uncountable business, and also definite, indefinite. So this idea of definiteness is a kind of tricky thing. It's a little difficult to teach. it is through experience that you have to learn whether this is definite or indefinite, depending on the situation, depending on what the writer is trying to tell here. You have to try to understand this concept of definiteness, how a noun becomes definite or indefinite here. Okay, right. So then what we have discussed today is some basic rules regarding article use and how they are used in our languages and in English. There are a few more rules given here in the second part of the material here. This is from one of these TOEFL books. You can read through that. And there are a few other activities that you have to do. You can try them at home. Read through the material and try them at home. We'll discuss the second part of this lesson next week.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.